And there's a big contrast that each of us needs to be aware of. The contrast really is in Christ or not. Because when we start looking at what Paul has talked about here, just this passage, just this one passage, he says, you were dead in your trespasses and sins. You were dead in your trespasses and sins. What did he say in chapter 1? He said, you're holy and blameless before God when you're in Christ. But Paul is basically going from telling us about all the abundant heavenly blessings, about being adopted as sons to God. He's telling us that you are now adopted as sons to God, but you were sons of disobedience. You were children of wrath. Now, we have to remember that Paul is writing this letter to a specific group of people, and that group of people are saved believers. So when we talk about this contrast, there are people to whom verses 1 through 3 here still apply. As a matter of fact, we live among them. We live next to them. Some of them might be your neighbors. Some of them might be your customers. Some of them might be your family members. There are people who are still children of wrath by nature. There are still people who are sons of disobedience. There are still people who live under the authority of the prince of the power of the air. And those people are the people who are not in Christ by faith. So we have to ask ourselves, well, are we in this contrast? Are we in Christ or are we not? But for those who don't know Christ, what will we do? We have to ask ourselves, are we okay with this contrast? When we look at ourselves and say, we are standing here with the heavenly blessings, all the abundant blessings of God, with the power, the exceeding great power of God working through us, adopted as children of God. And we look next door at our neighbors, or across the street at our neighbors, or we work at a desk with a coworker or somebody that works right next to us that doesn't know the Lord, that is not in Christ, and they are still dead in trespasses and sins. What will we do?